All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to the WTCF podcast. It's Charlie here, hanging out at a different spot. I changed the background for today just to be a little bit different. Sometimes you just do things a little different and you learn from it. So this week, we go ahead and talk about the intention. Um, do it even if you're scared. And then I've added on to that for this week. It's do it especially because you're scared. The idea is to kind of take something that you might have been putting off for a long time or something that you're intimidated by or scared of, and start to assess like why those things are happening and start to come up with a game plan on how to attack those things outright. So, case in point for myself, I've been telling myself that I wanted to go up and do open mic, and I think last week I talked about it. I chickened out last second and I was like kind of upset with myself. So the following night, I stopped over and I was talking with the owner for a second. And I said, I'm probably going to be too scared to write my name down on that piece of paper. Um, if you just call my name up there, there's nothing else I can do. I have to do it. I think that can kind of speak to having other people help you do some very difficult things in life. I'm directly asking for help. It's something that I'm struggling with. So I want to go up there and just try 4 minutes of just embarrassing myself to see if I can learn something from it. And I think that's incredibly important to challenge yourself to do those things every now and again to find out if that's something you can learn. So if you take a look at your life and you find these things that you've consistently put off, and I talk about it all the time. If you're putting things off and putting things off and putting things off, you're missing out on learning a bunch of stuff in your life. I think a lot of things we do in life should be difficult. I think we should try to do as many of the difficult, hard things when we still have our youth and our energy associated to us. And as we develop the knowledge around those things, we get better at them. It becomes very, very difficult to say that you're afraid to do something if you've done it a million times. I now have well over 100 of these, and it's not to go ahead and say that they're going to be phenomenal and they're going to get exponentially better. But I think every time that I help myself a little bit more in building the confidence to sit here and say something that I'm hoping will help somebody else down the line. The idea is not to go ahead and put this out there so I can get a million views today and get a bunch of brand deals. The idea is that sometime down the line, somebody might find this and they might find it useful, something that they can relate to, something maybe they're finding a similar struggle or path as I am. So, so now a couple weeks into it from here, uh, for the weight loss goal, I've been able to now maintain under 200 pounds. I weighed in at 198. So now I have multiple weeks at this level, which is good. Hunger is much more in line. So actually my stomach is shrunk slightly, which is a beneficial thing in this regard. Training is onto a brand new plan. I do have, regretfully, a 7 day split. So I would not recommend this for most people. However, my really tough training days are going to be Saturday and Sunday. So that's where I get a lot of my other work done. And then for the short term, basically until it gets hot out, 5 days a week, I get about 20 to 30 minutes of just a few AMRAP sets. So whether that be rowing or benching or flies or laterals or bicep curls, some of those other like vein and glory muscles, I just want to go ahead and hit a little bit more. So, you know, yesterday would have been Tuesday, and I hit a little bit more back. So I would have had things like unilateral lat pull throughs and chest supported rows. Right. I do those, some bicep curls to failure. You can get it done over lunch. So that's what I was kind of doing. Right. I get myself a little bit of time. So I'm going to try to knock that out and get better at it. So that's been the goal. The jump training stuff is kind of focused a little bit more onto the weekends. And I'm hoping to still be able to get one run in, maybe two runs in during the week where I can practice a little bit of that jump training. So even if I just get to add in little segments, so I'm just making sure that I can handle the volume of what I have now. And then I can add in the extra subsections. So on Fridays, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, I now have some jump training with a little bit more focus in on what I was doing before, split over 2 days. I just thought some of that other volume got in the way of some of the other work, so I wanted to include it. We make slight adjustments. So I'm hoping to be able to make some progress. I'm still able to jump up and physically get my fingers over the rim. So now, as I work forward, the idea is to start to try to dunk smaller things, right? Like a softball or maybe like a squish ball or something else where I can go ahead and practice. Also, with the weather starting to get a little bit nicer and the day starting to be a little bit longer, going out at like 7 o'clock and trying a few jumps is now more accessible, right? A few weeks ago, it would have been like 5 o'clock and it still would have been kind of dark. now it's a little bit brighter out. So now I'm going to get more and more opportunity to have a longer day, take advantage of it. So this is some stuff that I wanted to go ahead and work on. Again, just want to go ahead and continue to share. Still trying to grow at We the Collective, still working through making sure we can get it as good as we possibly can. I know I should be spending more time focusing in on that business on this channel, but this is a little bit of a split, right? So again, over in Forest Park, we do weight training. We talk about yoga. We do yoga. We do bar and Pilates. And all the instructors have autonomy, so they get to go ahead and pick the things that are important to teach, and then they get an opportunity to come in. Instructors are all highly sought after, highly qualified people who just want to be able to teach the stuff that they love. No different than what I want to do. I want to teach the stuff that I love. I want to be able to teach people how to be happy, healthy, and get as many good opportunities to live an awesome life. So on that note, good luck.